What's up, everybody? This is Brushing Up with Shaun, and I'm inviting you to come on a journey with me as we learn how to paint together. We're going to start off with our more basic steps and then slowly progress into more advanced steps with this painting process here. So, these classes are designed to be easy. Mess up, make mistakes, enjoy what you're doing. Now, let's cover the material that you'll need to brush up with Shaun. Hey everybody, welcome to our painting class today. We're going to just make some clouds, some basic simple clouds here today, and we're going to use two basic colors, blue and white. Very simple, blue and white, that's it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our large brush and put some nice plain blue on your large brush here. Just dip it in there, just nice and easy. And what we're going to do now is we're going to start off with our very top, going back and forth on our canvas here. Now you can see I've got a 16 by 20 canvas right here. Feel free to use whatever you'd like. But this is a really good step for getting a feel for how this paint works. All right, you should be using acrylic paint at home, going back and forth, side to side. Now it's very important that you kind of do this nice back and forth, side to side motion. And what I want you to do is get that paint off your brush. Go side to side, back and forth as much as you can go until there's no paint left on your brush. What that's going to do is help that paint start to dry. And it's okay if there's a little bit of textures, we've got a little bit of streakiness, don't worry about that. Got our basic, nice white canvas turning blue right across the very top here. Now, of course, once you run out of paint on your brush, go ahead and put a little bit more in there, and we're going to go ahead and go back and forth, side to side. Boom. Make sure you cover all those little canvas dots. You don't want any of those to show. Now, feel free, if you'd like, to paint your edges. I leave that entirely up to you. If you want to paint the edges, sides of your canvas, that's entirely up to you. Now what I want you to do is we get a little bit close right here. What we're going to do now is we're going to take that same blue brush and we're going to put a little bit of white on there. Just plain white. And you can see it's just right on top of that blue. And all we're going to do is we're going to go side to side with that plain white. What that does now is that creates a little bit more highlights in your sky. And we haven't started our cloud effect just yet. All we're doing is working on this background noise, this kind of nice gradient effect here. You can see it's kind of a nice light baby blue step here, side to side. Again, remember to cover all of your canvas. You're going to see these little dots of canvas kind of appear here. Now as we progress and get a little bit more further into more advanced steps, we might gesso our canvas, we might even change a few things on here as preparation, but we're putting paint right on top of canvas. We want to start you off with the basics. These canvases, depending on what store you go to, are already pre-primed. They're ready for paint to be right on top of it. But again, this is just a nice, easy step for you to really get a feel for how this paint works. This acrylic paint, right? Side to side. It's okay, again, it's a little bit streaky, a little bit of textures, no worries. Now what I want you to do is add a little bit more white on your brush here. It's okay, there's a little bit of blue still on there, no big deal. What we're gonna do is add more white here. And what that's gonna do, again, side to side, back and forth. That's going to help blend those colors together. That white lightens it up. Now what you're starting to see is that you got a little bit more of a darker blue on top, and it's slowly progressing down to a lighter blue here on the bottom. Kind of a gradient effect here. For you girls that get your hair done, it's the ombre effect. Let's roll. Here we go. We're gonna bring this all the way down to the bottom. Back and forth, side to side. So you can see lighter as we go, adding a little bit more white as we go down. Again, it's okay if it's a little bit streaky. No worries. We want texture. We want those kind of values. We want those kind of things happening in nature. This is just our background noise anyway. Boom. You can almost hear that paint getting dry off your brush. So you can see there is blue slowly progressing into a light blue here, just because we added those nice bits of highlight right on top of there. So you can just kind of see that's our base drop there. That is our background here. You can even add more blue on your corners here, just plain blue. That paint is already starting to dry. You can see it just adds a little bit of an effect there too. Not a whole lot. But again, going that back and forth motion, side to side, what that helps does is it blends it together, makes it look a little bit more natural. So you've got that nice gradient effect here. Now, what I want you to do is go ahead and set that big brush down, rinse it off, put it in your water cup, whatever you need to do. We're gonna switch over to our more medium and smaller size brushes. So grab those brushes, medium and smaller. I'm gonna get mine here. Boom, boom, boom. I have got quite a few brushes. Now you can do flat, you can do round. There's so many brushes out there. What we're gonna do is we're gonna just try them all. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure out what you like at home and figure out what works best for you. So you got this nice sky right here. All you're gonna do is you're gonna take your medium-sized brush here, and we're gonna make a nice light blue. You're gonna take some of that dark blue, some of that white. It's gonna make a nice powdery light blue. We're gonna start on our clouds now. All right, so you got a nice mixture with your medium-sized brush, kind of taking some of it off there. Now, you got your light blue on your brush. What you're gonna do now is in a circular motion, just start to create some realistic clouds. Now I don't want those like cartoony clouds, those Acme clouds, whatever you got there going on. What I want you to do is very randomly with your brush, start kind of twirling it around, spin that brush around. Make some separation of your clouds, change it up. What you don't want is that symmetrical kind of look, that kind of obvious cartoon look. What you want to do is actually just kind of very randomly. If you're a perfectionist, maybe, change it up a little bit. Gotta let that stuff go tonight, all right? This is all about imperfections. And that's why you see a lot of artists do landscapes, all right? Inside tip. You can see that I'm making so many imperfections, it just works. It just changes the painting here. We're adding these highlights here. Of course, when you run out of paint on your brush, you can see I'm almost like taking all of the paint off my brush here, very lightly, very lightly. You can hear the paint getting dry. You can hear it just stop getting on the canvas right there. Okay, and then I'm gonna, of course, add a little bit more light blue on my brush. I'm gonna keep this going, this process going here. We're just starting off with our basic clouds. Okay, rounding off, letting that paint go. Now you can see I'm adding some separation here between some of the clouds. You can see there's some darker right here, some lighter right here, lighter over here, darker over here. what that does is that makes it the illusion that there's some separation here. There's some depth within your clouds here. All right, every landscape, every cloud, everything's going to be so different for everybody. And that's what makes it so special. All the art kind of so special. All right, again, still putting that light blue, just mixing the two. Check this out. Just randomly, very lightly with my brush, just very randomly. No sense to it. Mistakes are happening. Like, watch this here. I'm gonna close my eyes. Here, ready? I'm gonna do this. Light blue on my brush, close my eyes. And yes, I know there's highlights, I know there's lowlights happening on this canvas. I'm still not looking. I open my eyes, but I'm still not looking. And you can see, check that out. It just works, okay? So you gotta let go, let loose, all right? You can see highlights and lowlights just happening right now. We're messing around with clouds. We started off with that gradient background there, darker into lighter, and now we're just practicing, almost like you're dabbing, you're almost just dropping some of that nice paint right on top of that. Look at the contrast that you're getting. It's just so random. And that's the best part about this, is you can make mistakes, you can have fun. I'm gonna go ahead and make some kind of distant clouds here. You can see just tapering in the sky here, just kind of separating some of that blue sky, that nice background. These are almost like little streaks. And I'm just using just a tiny bit of paint on my brush. It's really, really dry. You can hear it getting dry off the brush. I'm just using whatever paint I have left on this brush. Notice I haven't dipped it in here, you know? It's pretty sweet. Just add little streaks here. Just have fun with it. All right, this is an easier painting here. And it's gonna take a little bit of time for my beginners to kind of get the feel of the paint and the feel of the brush here. There's so many brushes, there's so many paints that you can use. The paint that I'm using is a simple acrylic. Very, very easy, very light. But I've worked with acrylics that are like as thick as toothpaste, all right? And that changes everything, oh my gosh. So, you know, find that inexpensive paint. I don't want you to get advanced yet. I don't need you to spend 20 bucks on a tube of paint, all right? What I want you to do is just get those basic paints. Blue, whites, yellows, reds, all that kind of stuff. Again, we're only using 2 colors right now, but look at all we've done. Look at all the paint, look at all the texture, look at all those things. We're gonna start learning techniques first. Then we'll start getting into more advanced steps, which includes color. Lots of different techniques that are coming up here. Stick with me. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna make this happen here, okay? Now, check these clouds out. That acrylic paint is already starting to dry off, all right? I can see it right now. It's just drying off. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add some highlights on these nice clouds here. So what I'm gonna do is take that same brush I'm using. Now you can even switch to a smaller size brush if you feel more comfortable. I'm still gonna just use this nice medium sized brush because I'm just kind of used to it. Put plain white on that brush. Check this out. I'm gonna add highlights now, just very gently touching the canvas. These highlights are gonna be kind of almost on the left side of these clouds. Now you can actually add some highlights kind of tapering within some of these clouds, but just makes that nice separation. But look at that, holy moly. There we go, we have highlights. Now we have a light source that's hitting these clouds here. Changing the depth, changing the dynamic, everything that you want on these clouds here. It's starting to come. this acrylic paint dries so quickly that you can actually add so many layers right on top of layer after layer after layer after layer. You can see I'm just randomly, again, here we go. Close my eyes. I know where my cloud is. I'm not gonna hope that I'm putting, yep, I think highlights are happening right here. Yep, it worked out. Okay, that's how random I want you to do it. That's how I want mistakes. I want you to learn. I want you to feel how these clouds just feel to you. Every artist is gonna have their own take on it. And this is my take. Okay, it's just so simple. Okay, just so random. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. That is the best thing you can do, is don't overthink it. All right, come to some of our events and the wines are flowing. Holy moly, people are definitely not overthinking it. Okay, they're all right. They're just rocking it out, having a good time. Speaking of events, those of my awesome students that I've had the privilege of teaching in Colorado, you know, I'm so happy that you're joining us. California, we're coming to you. Arizona, we're out here now. This is all you guys. It's so great. I've had the honor of like teaching so many people. I mean, we're talking probably like 10, 20,000 people now. And it's cool seeing everybody kind of come back to this and come to some of our workshops or some of our classes, and you see them progressively getting better and better and better as they practice. And these are people that are just like, I can't paint, I can't do any of this, I'm not creative. That's what this is all about. All right, I'm here to help you. I'm here to teach you. I'm here to show you that there's ways to figure this kind of stuff out. There's ways to figure all these different techniques. Once we delve into techniques, then we're going to delve into color. You can see I'm just going back and highlighting, low lighting, just separating some of this stuff, some of these clouds. Check this out. Like, there's no rhyme or reason. I'm just like going with what I feel, and you should too. Okay, there's highlights, there's lowlights. That's all I need to do. That's it on this painting. All right, that's all I'm feeling right now. So with your small brush, go ahead and pick a color out. I want you to sign this thing off, initial it, date it, whatever you want to kind of document. I'm just going to go ahead and put my stuff down here. There you go. Basic step, clouds 101. Eventually we'll start dealing with more color, more depth, different things happening with clouds. But again, we only use two colors, blue and white, and we figured out how to make some cool things happen here. So see you on the next episode. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start delving in a little bit more different things here, but keep it going, guys. You got this, you got this, make it happen. Remember, anyone can paint. You can too. Enjoy what you do. We'll see you guys next time.